The House of Representatives is delivering articles of impeachment against Secretary of Homeland Security today, Alejandro Mayorkas. This comes roughly 2 months after the Republican-controlled lower chamber narrowly impeached him over his handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. The Senate will convene as a court of impeachment once it receives the documents, but the duration of the trial in the Democratic-controlled upper chamber has not been determined yet. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security says congressional Republicans are, quote, wasting their time with unfounded attacks. It also says they should be focusing their efforts on passing legislation to fix the, quote, broken immigration system. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is following all of this from Capitol Hill. Nikole, talk to us more about the process of transmitting these impeachment articles and what can we expect will happen once the trial begins.
Yeah, well, this was a process that we have seen before, most recently with the 2 impeachment trials of former President Donald Trump. Just yesterday, Speaker Mike Johnson signed the articles of impeachment, and this afternoon we will see the House impeachment managers transmit those articles of impeachment, literally hand-delivering them, walking them over from the House chamber to the Senate chamber, where they will be read aloud. Now, we don't expect a trial to start today. We do expect that senators will be sworn in on Wednesday for that, but there is a lot of discussion about whether this trial should be dismissed or tabled, or whether the Senate will move forward with a full trial. Republicans are pushing for the latter, but many Democrats would like to see this squashed, and squashed quickly.
Well, as Republicans work to remove Secretary Mayorkas via this historic move, Speaker Johnson this morning criticized Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's efforts to oust him from speakership. Let's listen.
I am not resigning, and it is, in my view, an absurd notion that someone would bring a vacate motion. We are simply here trying to do our jobs. It is not helpful to the cause. It is not helpful to the country. It does not help the House Republicans advance our agenda, which is in the best interest of the American people here: a secure border, sound governance, and it's not helpful to the unity that we have in the body.
Possible to ignore the irony there, but his comments come after another Republican Congressman, Thomas Massie, said he supports Johnson's removal. What is the latest on this removal that you're hearing?
Well, basically what Tom Massie said, he was a congressman from Kentucky. He has said that he is willing to sign on to Marjorie Taylor Greene's motion to vacate, which is significant because you'll recall a couple of weeks ago when Congresswoman Greene said that she would bring forward and that she had filed this motion to vacate. At that time, there weren't any sponsors. So now with Tom Massie signing on, the question is, will other Republican lawmakers follow suit? And as you heard from the speaker there say, you know, he is not going to resign, he's not going to step down, and he continues to call for unity within his conference, but that is a very difficult rallying call at a time where many are questioning and challenging his leadership. In the case of Congressman Massie, you know, some of his concerns and some of the concerns that other Republicans have is they feel that he is not necessarily living up to his onus in the sense of, you know, the way that the spending bill was handled a couple of weeks ago. Now with the potential of bringing up Ukraine aid, which some Republicans don't support, how the situation was handled just last week with the FISA bill dealing with the government's warrantless surveillance program. So all of these things, you know, the speaker's kind of taken hits for, and some Republicans, like Congressman Massie, like Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, are saying enough is enough. We need to clean house and move forward. But Speaker Johnson doing the best that he can to try to hang on to his position, get some of these bills cleared through the chamber if he can this week in terms of foreign aid, and, you know, hoping for the best that he can keep his job.
Yeah, tell me more about that. You just mentioned the Ukraine aid and foreign aid in general. I understand that the speaker called President Biden yesterday to tell him about his new plan. What do we know about this plan?
Well, we don't know much. The speaker has said that he hopes that legislative text will be available soon, but what we do know is it's basically an attempt to try to split apart this national security supplemental package that we saw clear the Senate, in the sense that the House would take a separate vote on Israel aid, a separate vote on Ukraine aid, a separate vote on aid for Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific, and then you'd have this fourth bill that kind of is a goodie bag of sorts that includes other Republican priorities, from forcing a TikTok sale to this effort to seize Russian administration assets, which, the Republicans who support these efforts believe that can help fund some of this foreign aid. For instance, so we anticipate getting some more details on it, but that is where things stand at this time.
All right, Nikole Killion, thank you so much.